Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are here. We are back. It is Sunday afternoon for another episode of Always Almost There, Day After Show Live. We're here today to talk about last night's show in Minneapolis, which was quite fun. Wouldn't you agree, Neil?
I would agree. Yes. It was a banger.
Yeah. Banger Saturday, as they say,
Yeah.
as Goose continues their way through the Midwest. And we've got our good friend of the pod, member of Team Goose, Ryan Legvold, coming to us all the way from the snow-capped mountains or prairies or whatever is going on in North Dakota.
Definitely flatlands.
Well, we apologize
also known
for
as
his...
Goose's favorite Ryan. So
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
correct.
yeah.
They did play a Moby for you once. That
Yeah,
is true. How are you
that's
doing
true.
today, Ryan?
Good. I'm tired. A little tired. 4 nights, But I raged pretty hard last night. But my cup is full, as they say.
Love it.
So you're all the way
Love it.
back home. You
Yes.
did Minnesota, and then you are now back.
Yeah,
home.
yeah, like 3 hour drive. Minneapolis is basically a hometown show because no one comes to Fargo.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize North Dakota was that close to anything.
I mean, I could see Minnesota from my back porch. So, we're right on the border.
I thought you were gonna say like a 3-hour flight. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Where I'm in Utah right now. I have no idea where the hell I am. Neil, you
Yeah,
said
we
we were talking about this morning, like the drive that the band has, like from Waukee, Iowa to Salt Lake City. That's like 15
long drive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Neil was
it's
like,
a long drive.
I had no idea.
And like everything in the center of the country is that long of a drive in my mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan.
No, it is. You're
What do you mean?
not
Why?
wrong.
I'm in a different. Oh, you were saying to that, Ryan. Can we refer to each other by our last names?
Yeah, we can just call him like mold.
Call me
All
Legs.
right. Well,
Legs.
let's
Legs
let's dive into this show. It was a blast. Legs, talk us through getting into the venue, pre-show vibe, where you posted up.
Oh man, the vibes were high yesterday. Too bad Jive Goose isn't here because I know he's a big fan of the Sweet Life, and I got a suite at the Armory yesterday because, like I say, a hometown show. So I had it was like me and 20 of my friends all posted up in a suite in the back, and it was the coolest experience ever. Yeah, we stayed at a hotel like 2 blocks away, walked down. Just they like ushered us in all VIP style.
Nice.
Not something I was ever used to, But yeah, we had this great big area to dance in, and it was so nice. A couple of my friends are Goose vets, but there were a couple first timers, and then a few people who I've gotten into Goose and are like sold and were ready for more, who had been to like 1 or 2 shows. So it was a nice mix of us. But yeah, all friends of mine. It was great, man. It was like the vibes have never been so high for me.
You were muted, Ryan.
Yeah.
I normally don't put myself on mute at all, so it's not like I forgot. Thank you. Going into yesterday, I was kind of interested to see what they were going to do. After the 3-night run in Atlanta in June, they were a little tired at the Charlotte show. So I was wondering, are we going to see, is there going to be some fatigue on stage last night? I did not feel that way at all. It felt like they were still just as fresh as they were on Wednesday night, which was amazing. And I thought the show was really, really good. Just another strong one in terms of setlist construction and some great moments of jamming in there.
Yes, I agree. Oh, hey, before we start too, let me give you just a short history of the Armory because it's a little bit interesting. It's an interesting old building. Hopefully everything I say is correct, if I remember correctly. But I mean, it used to be like during World War II, I think it was an actual armory. But then I'm sure Ryan, you know this being the sports fan of the pod, but it was the former home of the Minneapolis Lakers, who became the Los Angeles Lakers. So there were many NBA championships won in that building. And then, when the Lakers moved to Los Angeles, I think it sat empty for quite a long time. It was actually like an indoor parking lot for a little while. And then they just built it into this beautiful concert venue. It's still very old looking, but also lots of modern touches to it. Really nice venue. I I think it's only maybe 3 years old. I hadn't been there before, other than I parked in there once. But my wife has been there, so I kind of knew what to expect, and it was a phenomenal venue. I loved it so much.
Would you say that those modern touches are big?
Yes, big modern touches. I see what you did.
I love it. Neil, I can't tell if you thought that was funny or you were just...
No, I feel like I'm in pain right now.
Good to know.
My God.
Good to know. Neil, what are your thoughts overall on the show before we dive in?
Overall thoughts on the show is that, I mean, this is an absolute banger. Everything I'd listened to, I kind of listened to after the fact, although I did catch a little bit of the second set last night on my drive home and then kind of hanging out at home. I was at a different show last night. I was at Great Woods seeing The War on Drugs, Lucius, and The National, which was awesome. Nice. Absolutely incredible. Yep.
Did they play Blood
Bus? Merch on today, which I'm quite excited about. So yeah, but in any case, caught the second set, which is the set you want to catch for the show, on the way home, and had spirited discussion about second set and encore with you, which was fun. So yeah, I mean, it's a good show.
I was gonna say, you didn't have a spirited discussion in the car with your wife about it on the way home as it was happening?
No. She can take or leave the goose, but
let's dive in.
Yeah, let's dive in. Let's talk about the music.
Let's dive in. So first 3 songs of the show here. We'll start with you, Legs. Dr. Darkness, Into the Whales, Into the Killing Moon.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I was a little indifferent on the start of the set. None of those are my favorites, but I mean, I don't care. Whatever. I've seen it is what it is. But a lot of my friends who had never seen them before dug all those songs, so I was like, I was getting joy off of their joy, kind of a thing. Just they really enjoyed it. But I don't ask your mom; she knows. But yeah, it was like my friends who'd been to a lot of shows, we were all kind of like, yeah, this is okay. And my friend Keith, who you met, he was at the Chicago shows too, which that night 3 set 1 was pretty fire compared to last night. But I mean, no complaints. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it's a solid opening. I was surprised to see Dr. Darkness open again. It opened the last time they played in Minnesota in St. Paul in spring 2023, and it was one of 2 songs that they repeated from that show, which I thought was interesting. We'll talk about the other one obviously later and some things that happened around the circumstances of that performance, right, Neil?
Yes.
Oh, you have some information, I guess, huh?
No, just our own.
No, just usual banter.
But yeah, we'll get there. I thought this Whales had some little extra mustard to it. Listening last night, it felt also like the crowd was really responding. Like even on the webcast, I could tell that like the energy in the room felt really strong from the couch. Was it during the Whales? Did you feel as though like people were really rocking out?
Oh, dude, I thought the energy was like on fire the whole time because we were all the way in the back, so behind the soundboard, a little bit elevated, which normally I'm up pretty close, so I'm not I never have that view, so it's sort of a different experience for me, and it was really fun watching the crowd because they were really into it. I mean, it's Saturday night, everyone was feeling pretty good. It was, and man, that place is big, and I'm not sure what the capacity is, but it is really big. I
saw it was like 8,500.
Yeah,
really?
and I know it wasn't sold out, but it looked full, and man, I was impressed that Minnesota brought that many people because the Palace last year was like 2,000, 2,500, something like that. So it was a pretty big increase from one year to the next, and I mean, being Saturday night helped, but no, and I'd be like, most of those people out there looked like they knew what was going on. I mean, they were getting down. It was cool. And the lights all night too. Like I never get, the one thing about being up front is you lose a little bit on the lights, and I really, man, Getty was blowing my mind yesterday. I kind of forget about how good it is in the back there.
Mm-hmm. And then Killing Moon, interesting to note before I passed off to you, Neil, on these first 3 songs. This is the first time they've played the Killing Moon and it hasn't been an opener.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Stats. Neil, what do you think of these first
stats?
It's it's the same old 3-pack of openers here. So you get Darkness, Whales, Killing Moon. The one thing that we can say about this is like Goose, the first 3 songs of every Goose show can be pretty formulaic. I think you can have the 3-pack of openers, or you can have second song is a jam and then 2 other openers. And, in this particular case, you just get the 3-pack openers. Killing Moon is cool. It's nice that they threw a little cover in there to make it like a little bit different. But, that's the way the start of Goose shows go these days.
Well,
yeah, I like Killing Moon.
They amp it up a little next with this Rockdale, which is a really, really good Rockdale. I was very pleasantly surprised, when they started taking it out into, kind of some almost Type 2 territory. Lots of Dragonfly vibes in this one. Love when that happens, but just kind of very driving jam. What did you think of this jam, Legs?
Yeah, I agree. I was surprised they played it. Like, it wasn't really on my radar. I know they'll turn that one around quick, but I don't know what the show gap was, but it seems like it was pretty short. But always happy to hear Rockdale. Love that one. Jess and I always have a little sing along at the end of that one, so it's fun.
Love that.
Three show gap, Neil.
Yeah, it's a 3-show gap. I mean, which is typical for what they've been doing with Rockdale, right? 3 shows have been played in between this show and the last show that they played it at. And this is a pretty good version too. I enjoyed the heck out of this. I wasn't really expecting this. So like when I went back, full disclosure, I didn't listen to every second of this first set, but I did listen to every second of this Rockdale. Yeah, it does make sense, doesn't it? And yeah, I mean, this one was a treat. In an interesting spot for it too. You would expect Rockdale to close the first set, but they had different plans for that. So yeah, killer version. And I'm glad there was like some jam in this first set, because otherwise it would have been kind of without jam, and that would have been a bummer.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And after that, we get the more non-jam portion of the set. Feel It Now, love it mid first set. Seekers, ideal placement, and Animal to close out. What do you guys think about this, Legs?
Yeah, well, no, Feel It Now, great dance party. Last night felt like a dance party, quite a bit of it. I mean, especially the second set, but Feel It Now kind of kicked that off. Got the Seekers that you were so happy not to get in Chicago. They were, standard Seekers, but again, all the new people, at least that I was with, really liked Seekers. I feel like it's one of those songs you definitely love the first time you hear it, but I've heard lots of Seekers, so it is what it is. But and then right. And then Animal was Animal was I love Animal closing out a set like that. Kept the dance party going. The booth was rocking for sure during that. Vibes were high.
Amazing. Neil?
Yeah.
Vibes were definitely high. Feel It Now feels like it was on really, really short rests. I don't even know. It might have been 3 shows that one was on the bench for, which is great. The more they play Feel It Now, the happier I am, because I think it's a great song. Some people don't love it, and I think those people are crazy.
That's the third Feel It Now. The tour played at Holmdel and Charlottesville, so 4-show gap. But who doesn't like Feel It Now, and why?
I feel like Adam was saying the other day that he wasn't a fan of it, which I think is crazy, because I think it's just an awesome song. I think the one knock you can have against this is it takes up a decent amount of time, and there isn't really a jam to it. It's kind of got like a little jam built into the structure of the song. Kind of feels like a jam.
Dance party.
But it's a dance party, man, and it's freaking awesome. I don't know. I absolutely love the song, and the more they play it, the better. It seemed for a while there that it was going to get like the Peter song treatment, which is like never like every 3rd or 4th show, right? It's more like 7 shows in between. And so we're just getting it more and more. It's also like my favorite Peter song other than Redbird. But yeah, man. And then you get your Seekers that was just like dying to be played at this point. 3 shows in a row where it was very, very due to be played in just the right spot too. You sandwich it between 2 dance parties, and that's exactly what you need when you play this song. And then you get like the nice slow ramp up to Seekers Part 1, then you ramp up to Seekers Part 2, and then Animal, and then you close out the set. I don't know. I think that's pretty good setlist construction.
Yeah, I love that the Animal intro now, instead of just being like a synth drone, Peter's just like peppering in animal noise samples. I think it's pretty funny. It's like a little rainforest happening,
like
before they
subtle
jump into it.
animal noises,
Yeah.
not like the old animal noises.
Yeah,
where
Not like the elephant. Yeah,
a freaking dolphin that'll make you
And-
like, yeah.
And there's a lot more clav in it these days than
Oh,
there
yeah.
was for a while. So
nothing wrong
I'm
with
a
that.
fan.
Good for
I'm a
people
fan.
who tweet such things.
Yeah, there were
good
a
for the
bunch
brand.
of those last time. It's good for
Yeah.
brand. Legs, what were you guys thinking at set break? How are you feeling?
Oh, feeling great. Yeah, I hardly ever like go to the bathroom during the show if I don't have to. I like to hold my spot down from. But here I had my own private bathroom, so that was bomb. Not gonna lie, I know Anna wants to hear about the bathroom, so very clean. Not a single person in line. It was great. We went up to the rooftop. They had like a smoking area up there. Just kind of took in some fresh air, chatted with some people. It was great.
Is that like a VIP access thing, or is that like everybody gets to go to the rooftop?
It might have only been the VIP access. I'm not 100% sure. I think there's another smoking deck on the floor, but the rooftop one was pretty cool.
Well, this was for like, did they like give you a cigar to smoke as you walked out?
No, I don't. No cigars, but I should have. I'm sure I could have paid for one. I don't know.
Yeah.
They were very.
When you're living the sweet life.
Yeah, they were good at getting you to spend your money in there. No doubt about it. They knew what they were doing.
Well, let's dive into set 2 here. Let's get going with this Creatures. This one reminds me a little more of a 2023 version. Doesn't really stray too far from form, but great dance party. I do want to call out Peter using, I talked about it throughout the Chicago shows. He was kind of doubling clav and marimba piano in some jams, and he was doing some really cool repeating riffs with that kind of in the middle part of Creature. So I thought that was great. But the dance party continues, Legs. What were you guys feeling about?
Yeah,
this?
for sure. So I was locked in set 2. Set 1, I think I was a little bit, just a little social. There was a lot going on with everyone coming in at different times and stuff. And I didn't get to re-listen to set 1, and I have a hard time being objective in the moment. But I at least listened to set 2 on the way home today. So yeah, Creature is a great dance party. My friend Danny, it's his favorite song. He was praying they didn't play it in Chicago so he could get it there. So I was super happy for him. Who doesn't like a Creatures, right?
It's classic. Set 2 opener Creatures, It's just
Getty
OG
on
as
the
it gets.
lights, man. Oh my God, it was just the lights. Again, they probably always look like that. I don't know, but they were just ridiculous last night. And just something about that building, because it feels like an old barn when you're in there, because it's like a half moon roof or whatever, and just the lights hitting the roof, and it was great.
No, I'm actually surprised they didn't play One More Saturday Night last night. It just felt like it was the perfect moment to play it. You're at the old Armory, it's Saturday night. I mean,
that'd have been cool. I was hoping they were gonna bust out "I Would Die for You" because Prince, Minneapolis, but it seems too obvious for them to do that. Yeah,
and they only do the really on the nose picks sometimes.
Yes, for sure.
Like Salt in Chicago.
Exactly.
But never in St. Louis. Yeah.
When
it was SEL.
Yeah.
Whatever. Whatever. And then we get In Your Eyes next. Great cover pick. Legs, how are you guys feeling about this one?
Love it. It's probably other than "I Would Die for You," it's probably my favorite cover they do. I love it every time. It's just such an emotional song. I don't know. It's just a great song. I was extremely excited when this one started. I did hear one in Montana last year, but that was the only time I've ever heard it, so it was awesome. Oh, I did not see that. But,
yeah, I think
I didn't know they were called Minneapolitans. Thank you, Marvin Brown, in the chat for letting us know.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I still think, dude. I remember I was at Humphreys played Controversy at First Ave one time. Everyone loved it. I don't know. I'm not sure if we all are eyes, but I do feel it. I do feel you. But yeah, again, Goose. It's too obvious for them to do that. But yeah, In Your Eyes was a great cover choice though. Loved it. Had a nice jam. I love that song. I'm like young Ryan here, screaming the lyrics the whole time. So one of those guys.
I love it. Love it. I kind of wished this had gone on a little longer, you know, especially after how huge the last version was in Philly in June. But this one has a really cool outro, like where like they kind of all leave Peter doing this like very ambient twinkly piano thing where he's like adjusting the delay on it. I loved that little segment, and I wish, you know, it's a cool space that they could explore a little more. But overall, I mean, this set is awesome. You know, like it has one really strong jam, but the energy throughout and the flow is amazing, I thought. But Neil, what were your thoughts on this In Your Eyes?
Well, I agree with that. I think the vibe, you know, you can see like a good jam coming at certain shows, like everything just sounds right, even in the songs that like aren't like great jams. And that's the cool thing about In Your Eyes is if you get it In Your Eyes at a show, you're guaranteed some kind of a pretty good jam. They try hard when they play this one, and they did last night. And the jam, not try hard in like the mocking sense, they actually do.
They put in some effort.
They put in some effort. They want it to be a good version, and this one was very, very good. You know, it's not all timer stuff. You know, we've got that on other stops already this year, and yeah, man, it's just the vibe was there. You could feel something in the air. You were kind of talking about like Peter doing things like a little bit different. I feel like everybody was kind of just like a little bit different, like a little bit more on than normal. And then you kind of just, the harbinger of great jams, I guess, right? So,
speaking of great jams, Drive. What a year!
What I'm talking about. Yep.
What a year. Legs. Take us through
Drive. Love it. It's kind of so like for whatever reason, Drive. I've seen Drive. I think like 3 more times than any other song. So it's just kind of become a joke with my friend group that if we're there, it's going to be a Drive. So it was great. But I love Drive. I always want to hear it. It was fantastic. This was like the one Getty was really going crazy on. He had the smoke machines going, and then like just like the lights behind it flashing. It looked like a giant cloud and a multicolored lightning storm behind it or something. It was just wild. And yeah, what a great jam. My memory's a little hazy. I'm sorry, but I do know that they God, it ended with a blazing heat too, like, right? If I'm not mistaken. I'm a little, again, my memory's a little foggy, sorry.
Yeah, that's all good. But yeah, again, Marty says in the chat, you know it's hot when Peter posted on YouTube an hour after the show.
I hadn't even gotten to my hotel yet, and it was already on YouTube. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, that is a guarantee that it's an absolute banger. Like Peter jumps off the stage, is like, I got to get this on YouTube, which he does. You know, it's not infrequent that he does this.
Yeah, that was the one we were all talking about after the show. Yeah, it was Drive for sure. You know.
Yeah, once again, it's a new and fresh major key jam that they're finding these ways into these spaces that's just so good. And one of the things I loved about this too, when it starts to drift in that, you know, more major key direction, before Peter fully pivots to keys, he was playing guitar and keys at the same time for like almost a minute. You know, he was like doing some really cool textures on guitar, and then he started, you know, playing around with the OB6, and with his right hand, and his left hand is just like tapping the fretboard, you know, just making some, you know, more noise basically. But it was really subtle and really, really cool. And I loved that moment a lot.
Nice. I couldn't see that from where I was at, but I will definitely check out the YouTube video later for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Drive just rules all of a sudden. Not all of a sudden, but I mean, it's just crazy. Every version now is you're expecting it to be great, not just good, but great.
Yes.
And this one has 2 distinct parts to it that I think are really good. One thing is like the band can just find a groove. Like the last like few nights, there's like incredible grooves that they're finding. They find that like at the very beginning of the jam in this Drive, and exceptional, just exceptional kind of just being in a groove kind of jam, which sometimes can be boring because you're just like, oh, we're doing the same thing again. But this one was really, really good. And then it just builds up into this just ferocious thing at the end that is just absolutely relentless. I mean, it's insane. This jam is insane. I can't wait to listen to this again. I've already listened to it a couple times. But you just got to go check this one out. I was kind of saying earlier, like I'm putting this on the running playlist for when I want to run through a brick wall, because that is exactly what you need. In the moment, I was reminded of the Pittsburgh, same kind of vibe where it's just like pure energy.
So intense. Yeah.
So intense. So good.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. And then we closed the show with a surprise, or closed the set with a surprise hunger site. I really like it in this slot. Aside from SPAC, I feel like a lot of the ones this year have kind of been a little more formulaic and still taking up, 20, 23 minutes of the set. So I think it's really good. Throw in a 15-minute version as a set closer every once in a while. Just bring the house down here with the banger. This was great. Legs, what did you think of this?
First, Neil, do you run through brick walls often? I'm curious.
Only after I listen to jams like that drive. Yes.
All right, that's fair.
I have a resilient head. It's remarkable.
Remarkable. Yeah, no, geez, I thought the hunger site was great. Like it reminded me a bit of like night 3, set 2, Chicago. Just like tons of hot metal type peaks. Like it gave me some Salt Cakes vibes, where it was like peak. Towards the end there. Really enjoyed it. Again, another friend of mine, Evan, really wanted to hear that, so I'm super happy he got to hear that. It was a really good hunger site. It was a good. I was a little surprised too with it being a set closer, but man, they finished it off really nice. And like Peter was shredding for a while. It was kind of Peter taking the lead, just going to town. I think he was clav and piano. I can't remember. It was definitely more than one thing. Whirly, okay. And then Rick took over and was shredding, and that's when why I think kind of why it reminds me of Salt Cakes, because it was similar, where Peter was going to town for a while and then Rick just took over. Similar kind of thing. But I loved it, man. It was a great way to end the set.
Yeah, it's typical of hunger site in that way, right? You get the Peter shreds, then the Rick shreds kind of thing, but different approach this time, right? Like Ryan said, Peter playing the whirly there, and then Rick actually, for a big part of what would normally be him just absolutely ripping and shredding, he's just like playing chords and letting the whole band kind of build a swell. And that's what set this hunger site apart, I think, from other hunger sites. And yeah, man, that sounded great in the moment. I really, really like that. This is a hunger site that I'm actually going to go back to and listen to more than once, which is interesting, because I feel like a lot of hunger sites, you can just pick them out of a bag and, you're going to get the same experience from them. But this one is just a little bit different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then encore, for the first time ever, Everything Must Go. Am I right, Neil?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we should talk about this.
Yeah. So
because there was a discussion.
Last night we were.
You want to do the lead and go?
Other. Yeah, because Neil and I are currently in first and second place for Fantasy Goose for the tour. Obviously,
it's going to do wonders for our relationship, Ryan.
We're already.
I think I'm in fourth, so I'm not far behind you.
There you go. But Neil doing that thing he does where he starts slow and then just kind of creeps up behind everybody as the tour goes on. And so, last night, he's making up some ground, and I had Everything Must Go as my 7-pointer. And, I was saying, like, I think it was during drive, I was like, yeah, we can still get EMG. And Neil was like, they're not encoring with Everything Must Go. Like your fantasy hopes are clouding your judgment or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what I said.
And lo and behold.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So they've never encored with Everything Must Go before. That's an important thing to say in this moment.
But they did last night.
And it was quite obvious that they were going to play Hot Tea last night. So that was the discussion. What we didn't realize in the back and forth argument was, is it going to be Everything Must Go or is it going to be Hot Tea? Is that they could do both. And that's exactly what they did. But this band, more than anything, well, the universe in general likes to reward Brian Storm's hubris. And then once again, it happens. It's remarkable how often this happens. But here you go. So you get an Everything Must Go encore, which is amazing. The only thing I don't like about it is they keep putting Everything Must Go in positions to not be a big jammer, which they need to get back.
I mean, SPAC was pretty good.
Yeah, true.
19 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. This was a really, really good 12-minute version, just rocking, dark, shreddy stuff. And then, truncated Hot Tea, because I think they looked at the clock. So that it seemed like an audible to me. I think they looked at the clock, and I guess the Armory's 11:30 curfew has some like wiggle room on it, kind of like Boston did. Maybe it's like, you don't have to pay if you go 5 minutes over or whatever. And so they threw in a nice little, encore that shit.
Encore that shit.
Encore that. Legs, what did you think of this encore?
Yeah, I mean, I was very surprised when they started playing. First of all, I let my fantasy Goose picks cloud my judgment all the time. If my 8-pointer hasn't been played, I'm always predicting that to be the next song, right? I mean, manifest it.
They can encore with the whales.
yeah, right. Why not? I mean, if they encore with Everything Must Go, why can't they encore with the whales? But
literally anything's in play.
Right, I was really surprised. I was pretty sure it was the first time they'd encored it too. I didn't know. I hadn't looked it up, but it seemed odd, and I was like, but I also knew like they could take that song somewhere, and like you said, it was no big jam. But I feel like I'm not sure if this was the song, but like Trevor had some kind of like effect on the bass during this one, or I think it was this one, and it was really cool. I really liked it. It was a very interesting sound, and then when it was over, I thought it was over, and I could see people like heading towards the exit, within that whatever 10 seconds between the songs, and I was like ready to grab my stuff, and then all of a sudden hot tea, and I'm like, holy shit, is this what? Really? And that was the perfect way to end that dance party of a night with that
Saturday night.
The crowd was insane. I'm so mad. I should have gotten a video when Peter had everyone clapping, because I'm not joking. Every fucking person in that crowd was clapping, and it was a sight to behold. Again, I never back there, so I never see those things, and it was so cool to see the crowd so amped up, especially in Minneapolis. I just wasn't expecting that kind of a throwdown from the people. They loved it, man. And
I don't know if I really was either.
Yeah, Goose seemed like they really, like Peter seemed like he was feeding off of it too, and yeah, it was good. That was fun, man. Everyone's getting down to hot tea.
I loved it. I think especially after Chicago, doing 3 nights there, like I wasn't sure how many people were going to go up to Minneapolis. And since the Palace Theater, the last time they played there was so much smaller.
Yeah.
I was shocked at how many people were there. I was like, like they're playing a big venue, like this is where Billy Strings played when he was there. And so like,
Giz just played there last week.
Consistently bigger venue. Giz was there. But so I was like, I wonder how full it's going to be. And so I'm really happy to hear that Minnesota showed up.
Yeah, it looked jam-packed to me. I would love I don't know what the ticket sales was, but
Yeah,
but
I mean, if it can hold 8K and it looks like there was a lot of people there, then you're looking at least 6K, 7K, right? I mean, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Especially after kind of the showing they had in Boston. It's just so weird. Like Goose is
was it a bad showing in Boston? Or what?
What
you're
Boston
saying?
Was very undersold.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Boston was very undersold, but it's good weekends, but tonight is Sunday, 5th show in a row, the band's first time ever in the state of Iowa. They have not opened for anyone in Iowa. They have not set foot in Iowa except for driving, I assume. But they are playing in Waukee, Iowa, not Milwaukee. They're playing in Waukee, Iowa, which is near Des Moines. And Marty Broen in the chat has 2 miracles for tonight. If you are in Des Moines and you are on the fence and you are watching this podcast, hit up Marty. He's got tickets for you. This is the smallest venue of the tour as well. Only 2,500 capacity. So curious to see.
Looks cool. It's a nice new venue. I looked into it a little bit, but it looks nice.
I did too. I looked at it like
Vibrant.
on Google Maps, and the Google Maps of it is like the thing being constructed. So this is a brand spanking new venue.
Oh yeah, for sure. My friend Garth lives there.
Right.
He's been there. He's going tonight. He says it's a really nice venue. So yeah.
2,500.
I believe Garth is coming on the pod tomorrow.
Oh, he is totally. Isn't he? Yes. He was gonna come to Minneapolis too, but he could not make it. But yeah, Garth's a good dude. Love that guy.
Well, we're looking forward to chatting with him. It's going to be fun tonight. Showtime is 7:30 Central. Last show of the Midwest leg. You've heard of Showhio. You've heard of Shomaha. Tonight we're in Shiowa.
No.
Yeah, that's right,
no.
Neil. Yeah.
No.
More
Shiowa.
Twice in one episode.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely
Shiowa, it's a thing.
terrible.
Coach is gonna say it tonight.
Oh man. I mean, we'll see.
Anyway,
Maybe they
without
have a
further
secret
ado,
banger tonight. Sunday night, a Schmonday show.
Sunday night, 5th night in a row. They're about to have a day off before getting out here to Utah. It's gonna be fun. So see you on the couch. Everybody, thank you for tuning in today. We'll see you tomorrow at 3:30. We'll be joined by Garth to talk about the first Iowa show that Goose has ever played. Shiowa.